Hey guys, I'm Philip. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is long overdue. It's been about 3 months since I put out a video. So I'm just going to kind of let you guys know what's going on with the tank. As I'm talking, we will take a look around the reef. So for the most part, guys, 2019 has been a pretty good year. I've had zero coral loss other than a few zoas melting away. But besides that, everything's been good. I've had one fish loss. That was a firefish, and they were getting bullied by my coal tang, so it was just a matter of time. I had three, and he just kind of picked them off one by one. Besides that, no other death. It's just everything's been growing. I'm having a few problems in the reef, which I will go over a little bit later. I'll show you some pictures of things that I've been dealing with. You've probably already noticed from the video I have some new fish additions. I've added 2 copper band butterflies and 6 green chromis. That's one of the problems I was having. I had a ton of APT Asias that were popping up, and no matter what treatment I tried APT Asia, Joe's Juice, what's the other one, APT Asia X, Calc Wasser Paste, you name it, I pretty much tried it. Put some peppermints in, but my wrasses destroyed them. So I decided to give the copper bands a go. And within a couple of days of being in the reef, they completely eliminated the APT Asia, at least the ones that are visible. Here you can see I've added some additional flow to the tank. I'm running the Sicceus Extreme SDC Wi-Fi pumps. Part of the reason for that is you're able to point them in any direction that you want to. Another cool feature about those pumps is they have a built-in temperature monitoring, and you can set up alerts. So if you do not have a controller, if your temp goes out of whack, it can send you alert to your phone, which is pretty cool. What else? I have some other new equipment that I'll get here later in the video. As far as my routine, it's still the same. I'm doing 10-gallon water changes every 10 days with Brightwell Neo Marine. I am dosing, well, I'm using the calcium reactor for the big 3, and I'm dosing, on top of that, I'm dosing Brightwell, potassium, and iodine. I've sent off 3 ICP tests. The first one I was coming back low, so I started implementing these into my weekly routine, and then the last 2 tests have come back in the perfect range. So I'm going to continue to dose those. Besides that, I'm still using the Brightwell Coral Amino daily. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I target feed the corals. So during those days I actually mix the Brightwell in with the mix. Here's the other side. You can see the Sicceus pump, and I'll show you a close-up here a little bit as the video goes on. For coral food, I'm still using the Coral Frenzy probiotic formula. That's what I am target feeding Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The good thing about that food is it's all natural. It also has probiotics, so I have not seen an increase in nutrients using that food. Because my bioload is increasing, I did have to up my export game. And as we go on, we will get to the equipment and I'll show you what I'm using. Let's see, what else can I tell you guys? A couple new corals on these torches here on the side. I won those on an Instagram giveaway. I've picked up a few acrofrags here and there, but for the most part, I've just been letting everything grow out over the last 3 months. And things are going pretty well. One of the problems I said I'd bring up later on is for the last 4 to 5 months I've been fighting acro-eating flatworms, and it's been quite a battle. I haven't had it destroy any coral. I've had it damage a few pieces that I've just actively been cutting out the pieces that are bad, scraping off the eggs, doing lots of different dips. But part of the big problem is most of the coral is encrusted on the rock. And so it's been a battle getting these big colonies out. It's been one of the biggest issues this year. But I continue to fight, and the tank is looking good. so I'm not really too concerned about it. I'm dipping the colonies that I start to see damage on. I'm dipping them a few times a week, maybe every couple of weeks. I'm blowing them off daily or every few days with a turkey baster, and I'm using KZ's Flatworm stop. So far it seems to be keeping it at bay. I know they're still in here, which sucks, but that's really the only thing I know to do at this point. I've seen several other people going through this, remove all their acros, and then wind up losing a bunch due to the stress of just taking them out of the tank and dipping them. So now I'll go into my new export method. I picked up a Reef Octopus 200S Super Space Saver skimmer. The skimmer is overkill for this tank, and it's actually a lot bigger than I expected. But I can tell you it's pulling way more air than the Aquamax. The Aquamax was a fantastic skimmer, and I have no issues with it whatsoever. It just wasn't performing as efficiently as I needed. So I'm giving this a try. I can tell you it's pulling a lot more air, and my pH has increased. And then here's a close-up of the Sicceus Extreme SDC Wi-Fi pump. And here I demonstrate how it's on a swivel and it could be pointed in just about any direction, which is exactly what I needed. Besides that, another equipment change was I had to jump on the bandwagon, and I picked up an Ecotec Marine Versa, and I installed that in place of the Kimura on the calcium reactor. It's been working fantastic. When I first got it, I was having that leaking issue, but Ecotec replaced the tubing, and it's been well ever since. So now we're back on the tank. Just taking a nice quick walk around. Like I said, even with the acro-eating flatworms, for the most part, the corals seem healthy, and I'm just going to continue to fight them. Other than that, I'd have to really dismantle the reef, and it's just not a job I'm willing to undertake. All the new corals, I've been mounting them on individual rocks, so I can remove them easily to dip. You can notice that a lot right in this section here. I have removed those a few times to dip. The Sunset Millie is one that's been the most affected. I recently had to frag up these frog spawns. They were just getting way too big, but I'm not complaining. That's not a bad thing. I really am enjoying these copper bands. Not only did they clean up the APT Asia, they look wonderful in the tank. Now here's just a little quick top down before we close out the video. Getting really good colors, really good growth. I mainly attribute that to the calcium reactor, the coral amino, and the coral frenzy coral food. It's been working great, guys. In case you haven't seen it, I included this little clip of an acro-eating flatworm, just in case you've never seen them before. Just a little way so you can identify them. And then I'll also show you the damaged coral and the pieces that I've had to remove so far over the last 6 months. A couple photos I'll attach. Here you can see the acro-eating flatworm eggs. Here's some more eggs and the damage to the flesh. And then here's all the pieces that I've had to cut out. And that's about it, guys. That's long update for me. Like I said, I post almost daily on Instagram. If you go over and follow me on Instagram, it's cc_reefkeeper, REEFKPR. I much rather type than talk. I guess that's why I'm not on here doing updates that often. But I really appreciate you guys watching. And thank you for all your support. You guys take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next video.